Good morning. I'm back with a hat, and it's been a while since we've done an old video, hasn't it? So I need to remember how we do this, but I'm here to do an unboxing of the RA2 Lutron. This has been provided by Bemco, a national wholesaler, electrical wholesaler. They've been putting obviously the courses on for the group for the last couple of weeks up and down the country. So this is the kit that you have a chance of winning, or I suppose it's a raffle when you go, but yeah, a chance of winning when you're going to do their training. So you'll get to learn about the products, a little bit of how to put it together and make it work, but also you maybe come away with one of these. So I think it's worth having a delve into it and see what this is all about. So let's have a look inside the box. With RA2 we need to have a main repeater. This is something that is required for every job, because this is your communication device from the dimmers to the switches to your phone. It also allows you to do a little bit of clever, I suppose, background programming to allow you to do things like geofencing. If you don't know what that is, drop a comment below and I'll talk about it. Scene setting. What else can it do? It can integrate into other third-party devices like Sonos, so you can control your volume and playlist from your switches. It can also integrate into things like your heating, so things like Nest thermostats, Honeywell thermostats. We're not talking super technical underfloor heating and smart homes, but we are talking to a point where you can give a client who just wants a single thermostat control on their lighting system. This can be integrated into RA2. So other devices that can be put onto the RA2 is within the Lutron family. You can have a PIR sensor, you can have the blinds, which are unbelievable. They're so slick, they're so kind of intuitive. They are probably some of the best kind of blind systems out there, and curtain systems out there, in terms of how quiet they are, how efficient they are, how well managed they can be from your phone and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's the wireless main repeater. This will get connected to your internet through your router, and this will allow you to control your lighting from anywhere in the world. So next up we have the dimmers, which look like so. And basically these are a driver that should fit across your circuits. So where in traditional wiring you have wired cabling into a set of spotlights, this would go before the spotlights. You would send your switch wire into this and then out to each and to your ring of spotlights. Down at your switch, you would bridge that all out so it was constantly on, and then your switch would take over control of this device. So I'm sure Lutron wouldn't recommend ganging these together in a centralized location, because there are other systems for that. Principally, it's not great for creating a mesh system within a building. So these are designed for more of a retrofit application. It doesn't mean that they can't be specified from kind of the outset of a new build. It just means that you have to think about where they need to be located. But yeah, they've been designed for slotting through a spotlight hole, or being put behind cabinetry or wherever it needs to be. They do a dimmer like so, which is rated up to 250 watt, which these days with LED is more than ample. They do a switch version of this, so just on and off, so for things like outside lights that don't need to be dimmed, that's another great one. They also now have a 0 to 10 volt version, which we know that I'm sure everyone was crying out for from the beginning, as it gives you the ability to dim things like LED strip kind of much more intuitively and much more kind of smoother. So yeah, those are the three dimmers and switches that they currently have within their range. What I will say is it's a shame they don't have DMX, it's a shame they don't have DALI, and a shame that they don't have RGB. Now, I don't see them really bringing out something for DMX and for DALI, but I would hope to see something for RGB in the future. The reason why I don't think they'll see something from DMX and from DALI is because they have other systems, the QS, the graphic eyes. Those kind of systems are much more sophisticated, can do lots more than the RA2 can, but obviously it fits within a market. So these are a lot kind of more cost effective, but you still get the Lutron quality and the dimming capabilities that Lutron is renowned for. So yeah, these are the dimmers, and these work with the little switches, the Picos. And so let me show you these, because I think it's worth having a little look at. Let's come in. So you can see these are pre-engraved. Okay, so the reason why they're pre-engraved is because it's expensive to get custom engraving done for buttons. So what Lutron have done is they have gone and kind of created a catalogue of buttons that you can implement within your home. So you'll like have a scene setting just version. You might have a lounge version, you might have a bedroom version, you might have even a music version, because if you integrate your Sonos, which you can do into the system, you can look at increasing or decreasing your volume, selecting playlists and everything through the Lutron switches, which is a brilliant kind of added extra with RA2. So with the switches, they integrate into a plate. They are wireless, and they have a battery life supposedly up to 2 years. So these switches can be put anywhere. This is a brilliant thing, and there's lots of other manufacturers that kind of do this, and it's great for electricians to know that there's products out there that can kind of give you an easier life. If I turn it around the right way, it would help. You know, things like two-way switching, when the client asks for, you know, rather than having to chase the walls out and redecorate, something like this can be just literally stuck onto the wall. The switches integrate onto the backplate. The backplate gets fixed to the wall. It's still quite a slim profile, so it looks quite nice. All of these exterior bezels can be done in multiple different finishes, whether it be white, black, but then into your kind of metal finishes. So it's really kind of dynamic and you know, and usable system that can be put anywhere. They also do things like the tabletop buttons, which we love for things like bedsides. So rather than having switches next to your beds everywhere, having one of these switches that can go to either side of the bed, and it can be hidden anytime, so it doesn't have to be on show all the time. It's just a nice feature, and it gives places like bedrooms another way of controlling the lights or the music or anything else within that room. So yeah, these are the Picos. The Picos, let me show you. Very, very small. Obviously the engraving on it looks really good. And for such a small and cost-effective device, the feel of it's great. You know, I think that we've had this in the past with other products that sometimes the touch and the feel of the product isn't fantastic. At the price point, these feel brilliant. You know, so it's not something you would necessarily be worried about putting into a customer's home, even at the high end. Utilising something like the black buttons with maybe a chrome or a bronze finish would look very good, and yeah, it definitely gives you another route to market in terms of lighting. So that's the switches, that's the dimmers, and that's what's in the box, which you can get. All you have to do is go to some training, which is brilliant.